All right. I hope this works. I'm going to check what is on these old memory cards. Right now, I got N64. These ones, I realized I can't really check what's on them. There is no home screen like you see on GameCube right now. I mean, I can figure this one says WWF Attitude, so I can guess what one of them likely are. The other one, I have no idea. It would require me to find what game it is and then use the memory card for that game. It may have been a rented game. It's impossible to know. I will likely never know what is on these memory cards because there's no way to really find out. But I do have some GameCube memory cards and some PlayStation 2 memory cards. So these ones I haven't used in over 10 years, 15 years. I have no idea what's on these. The GameCube ones, or the one in right now, I have used recently, or as of like last year. Though I forget what's on it, so we'll look through it. But some of these I have not. No idea. So I'm just going to jump through these and we're going to discover what is on these memory cards. And I'm going to, I don't know, maybe go down memory lane. So I recently played Donkey Konga. Hell yeah. This game is fucking ridiculous. That will likely be on here. Right there. So Super Mario Sunshine. I did beat that game way back when it came out. It is one of the most panned 3D Mario games. I actually really liked it when it came out. It was the first 3D Mario game I ever finished. It holds a special place in my heart despite all the issues. Metroid Prime, 2002. 2002. December 23rd, 2002 is the last time I played Metroid Prime on the GameCube. That is over 20 years ago. That is wild to think about. I don't remember if I beat it. I know I got far. I don't remember actually beating the game though. Sega Soccer Slam. This one has no date, weirdly, but I did open this up recently when I found this card, played some of Sega Soccer Slam. It surprisingly holds up. Star Wars Rogue Leader. This one also no date. And this may even be my brother's memory card because I did not play through Tales of Symphonia. These are his. Super Smash Bros. Melee. This had not been opened up for about 18 years. You can see here I opened it up about a year ago. It still holds up. Still my favorite one. Super Mario Kart Double Dash. History has not been kind. I think it's a great game though. And Wave Race. It doesn't show a date, but I also played this recently. So this card I was familiar with. All right, memory card number 2. Wind Waker. Also, there is no year. Clone Wars, there is no year. Rogue Leader, there is no year. Resident Evil 4, no year. I can tell you, I have not played Wind Waker on the GameCube since whenever it came out. 2003, Resident Evil 4 was rented. I got as far as the sea monster and that was enough for me. And 2014 on Mario Kart Double Dash. Last one here, Super Smash 2017. So actually kind of recent. All right, the last one is a Animal Crossing labeled card. I have to assume it's Animal Crossing. All right, I think it's all Animal Crossing. And it is. No dates either, unfortunately. On to the PlayStation 2. I have 2 memory cards that I used recently. These were just discovered in my parents' house. One is labeled David Old Games, and I wrote that back then. So we're talking real old games. These have not been touched for, probably 20 years. What's on this? Wow, quite a bit. And more. Frequency, 2006. This is a game I'm going to return to. This game does have the ability, I guess similar to Guitar Hero, to sort of make you feel like you're playing music. And when you're hitting the notes, you're not hitting the notes. Definitely not playing it as well. SSX 3, 2005, 19 years ago. Ratchet Deadlock, 19 years ago. Jak 2, this game was so hard. There was this one difficulty spike that I remember specifically on the area called the docks, I think. It took place on docks. And it was one of these areas where you had to do it perfectly or else you would die. And I had spent, I think, hours. And somehow I finally got through it. I remember even back then, 2005, looking up on message boards, and everybody had a hard time with this area in Jak 2. Once I got past that, everything else was easy. I think this game would stand out in my mind more if it wasn't for that difficulty spike. The original Sly Cooper, 2005. Love those games. Twisted Metal Black, my favorite Twisted Metal game of all time. The very first video I ever edited was a collection of the cinematics from Twisted Metal Black. I set a bunch of them to music. I think I called it the Woman of Twisted Metal Black, and it was all of the female characters in the game, and I set it to like an Evanescence song. I either put it on YouTube or I uploaded it somehow. And then someone else on YouTube took that video that I made and pretended it was theirs. And I was so angry. And I commented on the video. And then the guy was like, hey, it's whatever. It's no big deal. Who cares? And then I think he eventually took it down. But he tried to get away with stealing my video. Point being, this series has never returned to the greatness that it was when Black came out. This was such a fantastic game, and I'm not sure if Twisted Metal could really work now. They released a newer one on PlayStation 3 like 10 years ago, and I tried playing it recently. It's just not all that enjoyable to play. Car combat generally, I think, has been lost to time. Star Wars Battlefront, I have a weird memory hole with this game because I remember for the longest time there being rumors of a Battlefield-like game in the Star Wars universe and thinking that would be crazy. That'd be amazing. For some reason, I thought this was like a more recent series, like many shooters on the PlayStation 2. I'm sure it doesn't hold up too well, but this is 2004. So this is 20 years ago. Absolutely insane. Original SOCOM. So I was big into SOCOM 1 and SOCOM 2 online, but let's see. 2004. To think of the impact this game had on my life, I made good friends on that game, people I still am in contact with. Back in 2002, 2003, not a whole lot of people, especially console gamers, since online play was new to consoles, not many people on consoles were making friends online. Time Splitters 2, 2004. A supposed remake of Time Splitters was just recently canceled when Free Radical was shut down by Embracer that recently purchased them. The developers behind Time Splitters, a lot of them worked on GoldenEye, worked on Perfect Dark. So those are two games that, especially Perfect Dark for me, I absolutely loved. Super underappreciated. Klonoa 2 just recently grabbed the remaster on current gen consoles. 2004, ATV Off-Road Fury 2 was such a fantastic game. 2004, the big highlight of the ATV Off-Road Fury games was the depth that came into how you launch off of hills. The way you would do it is before you are about to hit the end of the ramp, you hold down on the joystick. Then as you're launching off, you push up, and that gives you height. And how quickly or how slowly you push off depends on, what you want in terms of where you want to land. If you want to land on the slope of the next hill, a lot of the strategy there, a lot of the depth came into deciding how you're going to launch off that hill. It would still hold up today. One more card. This one's really dirty. This might be a PlayStation 1 memory card. I believe that the gray memory cards are the PlayStation 1 cards, but let's see. I was right. Look at that. I played a few of these games on my PS2. In fact, I may have played them all on PS2. So these may not be as old as they appear, but let's start with Gran Turismo 2. Okay, no date. Test Drive 5. Test Drive 5. I don't even remember the last time I played Test Drive 5. This has to be, I don't know. I mean, the year 2000 would be the latest, probably. Crash Team Racing, again, a game I played a lot in the year 2000. SmackDown 2. Klonoa, the original. This is one that I bought and played after I played 2. Also, fantastic and overlooked. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, Disruptor. This is the first Insomniac game ever. This is the first game they ever made. I bought this game off eBay after I played Ratchet and Clank and loved Ratchet and Clank 1 and 2. 2 was going commando. I wanted to make sure I had a bit of the Insomniac's history. I don't remember playing much of it. I do remember it not holding up. Disruptor is a first-person shooter. So a first-person shooter on PlayStation 1 doesn't really hold up. And last but not least, I believe this is Wipeout. And yeah, no date. But another game, Wipeout 3, great series of games. Spent a lot of time with those. Did I show the hard drive? So the reason I have a hard drive, I was in the beta for Final Fantasy 11 and it came with a hard drive and then we just got to keep it. Well, that was it. That was fun. I still will never know what is on these two N64 ones. If there's a way to find out what's on these, I would love to check them out.